Hi, Jocelyn.
Yeah.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Dr. Bancroft.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so go ahead and start off. Tell me what's brought you in here today.
Okay, I was working out and I decided to pick up some bigger weights than I had been doing before, and all of a sudden I felt this weird, almost tingling sensation in my butt and then towards the back of my thigh. I kept going and I stopped for a little bit, and the next day it started hurting a little more. And I talked to my mom about it, and she said that I probably was lifting with my back instead of my legs.
Yeah.
It's just getting really frustrating to where I can barely do day-to-day tasks. Like when I cough or when I sneeze, I get this weird, ugly sensation in the same area. It's just, like I said, it's frustrating because I'm an athlete and I need to be healthy for basketball, and it's just not working out. So I've been taking some over-the-counters, and nothing helps.
What have you been taking?
Advil.
Okay. And you said that pain does it get better, or does it just
Slightly,
help at all?
but not enough.
No? Okay. So like you rate your pain on a scale of 1 to 10 before the Advil?
Before I felt a good 7.5.
7? Okay. And so after you take it, it probably decreases to about 4 or 5, and then escalates back up?
5.5.
Yeah? Okay. Just take care of a couple of things first, and then I would like to run a couple of tests, just to check things out.
Okay.
Does it start off with something, or does it just kind of like an all-day thing?
It's kind of a lingering thing, but once I work out and start, exerting force, it gets progressively worse.
Okay. I think sounds great. Perfect. Okay, Jocelyn, what I'm a little concerned about is that there's a slight chance you may have a herniated disc. I know that kind of sounds really scary, but in reality, all it really is just kind of like you have all those little vertebrae separated by they're separated by a fibrocartilage, which also intervertebral discs, which whenever somebody does something extraneous, tend to slip out because that fibrocartilage becomes so thin that they just kind of, and what can happen is that they can protrude so far out that it presses on your spinal cord and sometimes your spinal nerve. So it affects not only your vertebrae, but it also affects your nervous system because of the pain you're feeling from the nerves. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run a couple of tests just to make sure you check things out. Lay your feet out. Okay. So the first test I'm gonna check to see right your leg up. Okay. What I want you to do is stop me as soon as you start feeling pain.
Okay. Right there.
Right there? Okay, and on a scale of 1 to 10?
5.
5, okay. And you feel it like right here, back in this area?
Mm-hmm.
And how about your back?
Not really.
No? Okay. So go ahead and swing your legs forward. Okay. What I want you to do is kind of slouch over a little bit, hang your head, and I want you to put both across your feet and bring them up to you. Flex your toes. Okay. So then tell me if this hurts. Do you feel pain?
I feel it behind my thigh.
Your back? Okay. But you don't feel anything in this one? It's just all in this one? Okay. So how about if I push further?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead and stand up. So for this one, what you're going to do is you're going to stand on your heels, okay, and you're going to walk. So tell me if you feel any pain from that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah? Where do you feel the pain?
Sort of in my buttock region
Your
and
low back?
in the same area that I've been
Yeah.
saying.
Okay. Okay. So,
Really gets hurt.
yeah, so I explained to you what happens with the herniated disc. The discs kind of,
They spout almost?
they can also be referred to as slipped discs, and that kind of makes a little more sense as opposed to how they kind of come out. As far as treatments go, what we can do is I want to run an X-ray, but that's in the worst case scenario that it doesn't get better. The first couple things that I'm going to recommend to you is that you start off with some therapy. So I'm going to recommend to a physical therapist. He and ice is probably going to be your best friend in this case, okay? And also, if that isn't working out how you want it to, we're going to go ahead and start maybe a small brace whether on your neck or your lower back, just depending on how things go.
Okay.
Okay, do you have any questions for me?
I cannot.
Okay, one big thing I want you to understand is that over the course of treatment, and if everything gets better, in order to prevent this, what you need to understand is that when you're lifting, you need to lift the proper technique. And then also you need to make sure you always have a good posture, don't slouch, because that can also kind of cause that to slip out.
I have a question.
Okay.
What say it doesn't get better? What could be the long-term effects? What's gonna happen to me?
Okay. Long-term effects, given that if the treatment doesn't work out, is that the pain that you're feeling now is very minimal to what you could potentially be feeling because it depends on how protruded the disc is. So if it slips to a point where it's just basically sitting on that nerve, it's going to be a lot more painful than in that case we would need to have a surgery. But I don't see that happening. You seem very healthy. Other than that, everything else is good. Blood pressure is 112/70, so that's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and prescribe you some tramadol for painkiller. Are you allergic to any medications?
No.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank
Thank you, doctor.
I got it. Do you have any more questions for me?
No, I think that's it.
Well, I hope things work out for you, and I'll see you later.
Thank you, doctor.
You're welcome.